Yeah, going? Good, right. So, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you a little tour of the bar area so that you know where things are and what to look for here. The first thing that you need to do when you come to do any event, if you're going to be making drinks, is to turn on this, which is the... Yes. Back here, there is a plug that says, well, it's a switch that says water boiler. You need to turn it on when you arrive. Don't do what I did once, a coffee and forget, because then it's a very stressful event, because it takes quite a while to warm up. And then when you've finished at the end, you need to turn it off, because you don't want to leave it on, okay? Now, coffee machines. These are really, really easy to use. You take one of these out, and down here, there are these paper cup things. And then there are also these and scissors. And you cut the top off that, and you pour a whole one in there. And then you put the whole thing in there. Now, to turn the machine on, assuming that it's plugged in at the wall, if it's not, turn that on, you turn it on here. And it'll say, hello, I'm alive, here I am. And then this is your go button, 1-0. Now, you can heat the top hot plate, but only do this if you've got liquid in the jug, please. Because these, eventually, you'll have seen some in the past that are quite brown and discoloured. That's where there's dregs in there and they've been left on. Eventually, sometimes they go bang and we lose and they crack because they're empty on a hot plate. So you can have the hot plate on, but not the jug on if it's empty. So you can be waiting like that. Okay, so that's coffee. Here we also have a glass cleaner. Who's used the glass cleaner? Mary? Brilliant. So this is a slightly smaller version, slightly different to the dishwasher next door, which you've already seen. Your on switch is up here. And then inside you've got a couple of trays. And you have got a, this is for plate, not toast, as was just mentioned in the last group. It's not for toast, very soggy. And then in the bottom, you've got a slightly different plug. You may, I don't know if you can see from where you are, there's this whole section that comes like this. Now, this is the important bit, okay? This is the plug, and you can see it's spring-loaded. So when you pop this in the corner, push it down and then twist and it will lock down. So then when you turn it on, it will fill up. Okay? And then you press start. This one you have to manually press the start button to get it going. And then you do whatever, cycle, cycle, cycle. And then at the end, you push down on your plug to let go of the water. What's it not doing? That's interesting. There it is, there it is. And then you press start like that one and you hold it and you'll then hear the water draining out to get rid of the water. Okay? So that is the glass cleaner. And so that's your on button. So you've got two on buttons, one up here and one there. Any questions so far? Okay, in this cupboard, what's in this cupboard? Well done, good spot. Now, in here is one of these, and along with the first aid bag is... So, if you open this, you should be filling this in. And it does say on the front, it's got the employer, it's got instructions on there, which are always very helpful. So the employer is the person who's responsible for the project or whatever, who's in charge on the event that you're at, and the employee is the person to whom the accident has happened. Should you be filling that in, either leave the book out there or let Ben know that it's been filled in, and then he can do whatever he needs to do with it. File it in somewhere very important, I'm sure. Okay? When you have done your cleaning of things when you've used mugs and glasses, we have decided to go with mugs down and glasses up when we put them away. Now, we've done glasses up. We'd prefer them to all be glasses down, but because these are so heavy, they feel a little bit top-heavy, so you're always worried that you're going to knock them over. However, it's obviously better if they're down because they don't get so much stuff in. The obvious thing with that is if you're putting your mugs down, that means that you're putting the tops down on the tray. So if you've got a dirty tray, wipe the tray, otherwise it makes the washing up pointless. I know this is obvious. Just saying, that's fine. Bin bags. Bin bags. These are here. On the middle shelf, just here. Look, it's a black bin bag. You've never seen one of those before. And while we're on the subject of bin bags, if you have used the kitchen or in here at all, and unless it's a single packet of crisps, could you put the bin outside? Could you put the black bin, tie it up and put it in the big red bin? That's for the general waste. We also have recycling, so all your lemonade bottles, your glass bottles, your milk bottles, they can all go into the recycling, and your cardboard boxes. We are going to label those. I'm not sure if we've done it. I forgot to look before I came in, so that you can tell which of those is in, but that would be good if we could recycle. Cool? One thing that I've been asked by Mr. Farrell is when we use the bin and we've made some tea, whether we could put the liquid of the tea down the sink and the tea bags in the bin, not just the whole. How bizarre that I'm needing to say this, but apparently I do. So, when you've made the tea, and then pour the tea bags in there. Yes? Yes, cool.
Go out the bin, so 9:30 tea and coffee.
Yes.
Can we leave that for 11:30 because it's half full?
Yeah, I would say if it's
full, we empty it.
yeah, that's absolutely fine. Because in the way I'm thinking is you're not last out the building.
So do 11:30 have time for the bin regardless of how much is in it?
Yes, absolutely regardless how much is in it. Yes. Nice. Lovely. Lovely thought. Right, OK, so coffee. Going to like this. There is spare coffee, and just so you don't miss it, it says coffee. OK, so that's the red pouches. There is also an emergency box on the shelving next to the office. So you'd need somebody with a key to get to it. But there is an emergency box there. Now, if you've got to the emergency box, we really, really are running out. You really have to tell somebody. In terms of everything, it's helpful if you're noticing that something is low by emailing Chris Jewiden. Just email her and say. And it's much better if all of you emails than nobody does. So don't feel if somebody else. Oh, you could do the whiteboard in there for that. Could use the whiteboard in there for that. I've got an email down, and I wonder whether that is because, particularly for coffee and sugar, because they're the yes. Either or. As long as you tell us somehow, I think. You put it on the board, Miss Ford. That's a good idea. Say it again. Gouache. Yeah.
Like if it's used up on Sunday, it isn't there for many kids first thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that would possibly be a good idea to email if it was getting, yeah. In terms of biscuits, lemonade, orange juice, apple juice, those kind of things, it's really helpful if you can use whole pots, whole jugs, whole packets. If you don't use a whole jug or a whole packet, either, if you prefer, put a label on it. Have you been taught about labels? Put a label on it. Or take it home. That's OK too. It's OK. Because like today we've got some jugs of milk left in there. It would have been better to have kept the milk bottle, put them back in, so at least you can put the lid on and put it back in there. And you got half a thing of lemonade. It's fine to take it home. It really is fine to take it home. If you've got leftover biscuits, there is a leftover biscuit box. Put it in there. Cool. I think that's everything. Is there anything that you want to ask?